It's a brand new week. It's a beautiful morning. Welcome to Housing TV Africa. This is the Good Morning Africa show. My name is Memona Bagudu. We have a whole lot of exciting, informative, and also educative features on today's episode of the show. Well, I'm not doing this alone. I have a gentleman, a co-host with me here. Good morning, Ebenezer. How are you doing today?
Yeah, good morning, Memuna. I'm great. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and welcome to the breakfast show on Housing TV Africa. I am Ebenezer Anukam. It promises to be exciting. We've got a lot of wonderful packages that we have for you today. And come to think of it, today happens to be the World Arts Day. Every 15th April of the year, the World Arts Day is being celebrated to understand artistic expressions and how it contributes to societal values and development. We're also going to be having discussions around film production and safety measures. We're going to be looking at the world of business, entertainment, sports, and lots of other exciting packages. So, Memuna, it promises to be an exciting one today.
Exactly, it promises to be an exciting one. And what really is catching my attention today is we have a special guest appearance.
Exactly.
Very, very interesting. So, viewers, we urge you all to sit tight, and we'll go on a quick break. We'll be back shortly.
This is a great initiative, and I was telling my good friend Festus, who's been the founder and steward of this initiative, that we should replicate this across the African continent. And we're happy to collaborate with the International Housing Show, and we think that it's a worthwhile initiative because it brings together all the players in the housing ecosystem, and it's a great advocacy for the sector. So we'll be looking forward to participate also in the future events of the International Housing Show, and potentially even look to see how we can scale that up across the continent. So great initiative, and looking forward.
Welcome back from that quick break. So first on our segment, If I Can Make It, Can You Make It? We have Dr. Simon Asemota.
Well, you are welcome to I Can Make It. What a joy to have you this day. I want to thank God for the opportunity to share this thought with you. Well, on this statement, I'll be talking about life journey. A lot of people don't understand that life is a journey, and if preparation guarantees your success. If you are in this life, life is a journey. There is a starting point, there is an ending point. Now, if you know that you are going to end, then your journey from the start to the finishing line, you need preparation. I want to tell you that one of the ways you prepare for life journey is to understand that this journey takes responsibility. At every step, there is a way to go. So I want to say this, there's something I wrote down here I want to read. It said, life can only be understood backward, but it must be lived forward. Now, how do you understand life backward and live forward? Well, we did not fall from the sky. We all came from our parents. And because you came from your parents, there are so many things you learn from your parents. So value in this journey of life will guarantee your success. That is why we are saying you can make it, because there is nothing new under this planet. It's very important for you to know you understand life backward and you live it forward. Now you have to take example from those that have gone before you. It was Isaac Newton that said, if I have moved ahead or go higher, is by learning from those that have gone before me. One of the value I will talk about living life is learn to value what you have. Learn to value what you have. A lot of people are complaining. And let me tell you something. There is no future for spectators. You don't need to complain. You need to learn to comply. So if you value what you have, then what you have will produce result. No matter how small it is. I want to tell you this. Everything is small. Even me, as I'm seated here today, once upon a time, I just weighed 3.5 kg. But today, I'm weighing 95. Now, what happened is time. The difference between you and body is time. Never despise the day of your little beginning. That is value. Value what you have. Trade with what you have. That is why life starts from one. The only thing you can start from the top is your grave and your well. Never aspire to start from the top. Start somewhere. And where is that? One. So it's very important for you to understand this so that you can have the value for a better life. You are better than many people if you use what you have. A lot of people today, because of the economic situation where we find ourselves, a lot of people complain a lot. They despise what they have. There is a story I want to tell you about that value what you have. It will lead to increase. It will lead to productivity. It will lead to your shining as a person. There is this man that wanted to travel and he gave his servant talent. He gave 5, he gave 1. 2, he gave 1 to another one. The 3 of them have different things. He gave to the 5, 2, 1. But the one that had 5 went ahead and traded with it. Because he valued what he had, he was not looking at other people. A lot of us, the reason why we don't make progress, the reason why we think we are not making it, we are looking. Let me tell you something. It is always green in another man's compound. But you don't know the reason why your own is not green. It's not because there is a cause that is operating in your life. It's because you are not giving attention to it. And whatever you don't give attention to, you won't get direction from. So it is very important. This man, having given this talent to this man, he traveled. And when he traveled, the one that had 5 went to trade with it. The one that had 2 got to trade with it. And what he has increases. Whatever you use, what you have been given in this life journey will lead to increase. But the one that have 1, what did he do? He started looking at other people. He started looking at other people. As you are looking at other people, he began to despise what you have. Let me tell you something. If you look at other people, you will not make progress. If you look at other people, you will end up complaining. I want to let you know there is no future for spectators. Until you participate, you are not qualified for what you are looking for. You can make it. Use what you have. Life is a journey. You must understand life can only be understood and live forward. So go forward today so that you can have the best of life. What happened to these 3 men? The one that has 1 went and dug it and hid it and started blaming his master. Are you like that today? I'm here to tell you, you can make it. You can succeed. Look at what you have. Listen to me. A man cannot vomit what he has not eaten. Life will not demand from you what God has not equipped you with. Every one of us are on a mission. That is why your fingerprint and mine is not the same. Everything about you, you are specially specimen. Listen to me. God has not created you to escort anybody to this life. There is a value. Until you learn, you never see the value of life. The number 2 I will talk about, learn that money does not solve every problem. A lot of people say, oh, if I have money, all my problems are. It's a lie. Money does not solve all the problem of life. You see, value brings promotion. Value bring increase. Don't think that, oh, if I have money, I will do this. Listen to me. There are so many things that goes with so many things in life. Well, I want to tell you today, we love you, and we are saying you can make it, you can succeed, you can have that which God have ordained you for. I'm so excited this morning coming your way, bringing you this thought. Think about it. You can make it. God bless you.
That was a very inspirational one by Dr. Simon Asemota. You can make it. At take home, never aspire to start from the top, start from little. Let's go on a quick break, and then when we come back, we have other exciting segments for you on today's episode of the Good Morning Africa show.
This is a great initiative, and I was telling my good friend Festus, who's been the founder and steward of this initiative, that we should replicate this across the African continent, and we're happy to collaborate with the International Housing Show, and we think that it's a worthwhile initiative because it brings together all the players in the housing ecosystem, and it's a great advocacy for the sector. So we'll be looking forward to participate also in the future events of the International Housing Show, and potentially even look to see how we get up across the continent. So great initiative, and looking forward. This is a great initiative, and I was telling my good friend Festus, who's been the founder and steward of this initiative, that we should replicate this across the African continent, and we're happy to collaborate with the International Housing Show, and we think that it's a worthwhile initiative because it brings together all the players in the housing ecosystem, and it's a great advocacy for the sector. So we'll be looking forward to participate also in the future events of the International Housing Show, and potentially even look to see how we can scale that up across the continent. So great initiative, and looking forward. This is a great initiative, and I was telling my good friend Festus, who's been the founder and steward of this initiative, that we should replicate this across the African continent, and we're happy to collaborate with the International Housing Show, and we think that it's a worthwhile initiative because it brings together all the players in the housing ecosystem, and it's a great advocacy for the sector. So we'll be looking forward to participate also in the future events of the International Housing Show, and potentially even look to see how we can scale that up across the continent. So Great initiative and looking forward.
Welcome back to the Breakfast Show on Housing TV Africa, and I'm sure you've enjoyed the bits we've had so far. We'll be moving straight into the next segment of this Excite package this morning, and we will be talking on a very poignant topic revolving around film production, safety, and various measures that are being taken. We know that the industry is not just all about glitz and glamour. There is a lot of hard work, there is a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, so we can enjoy most of the content we get to see on our various TVs and our various platforms and all that. And today, on this topic, we are joined in the studio by Dr. Isaac Onoja, the CEO of Minds and Emotions Center in Abuja, who will be shedding the light on this topic. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you doing today?
Doing good.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're
very much.
welcome.
And you, yeah.
All right, so we will be going straight into the business of the day. A lot has happened in Nollywood over the past few weeks, over the past couple of weeks, which has not actually been good news for most of us. Topically talking about the death of one of Nollywood's finest actors, talking about Junior Pope, who died under very sad circumstances. Of course, our condolences goes out to the family. And we are going to be talking about some of the safety measures that should be taken to ensure that situations like this do not repeat itself. But before we go to the questions of the day, Dr. Isaac, can you give us an overview of the Nollywood industry at the moment? What would you say about the growth of Nollywood?
Well, Nollywood is doing well in its own right, even though we have lapses here and there that showed up during this event. You know, many times we don't get to know about what happens behind until we have an event that is unfortunate, like we just had. Nollywood is celebrated all over the world. When I was in Kenya the other day and people found I was a Nigerian, they were all talking about Nollywood, 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 and all that. But there are still issues here and there that we need to really look at to see how we can improve on this high quality artistry that we have.
You have stated there are still a lot of issues that need to be looked into, and that is why we are here. So, starting off, first of all, I start by asking, why does health and safety matter so much?
Now, health and safety, you cannot separate them because you are dealing with human beings. So, health, they say health is wealth. So, your real wealth is your health. And safety keeps you alive and prevents things from happening to you that may take your life or incapacitate you. So you cannot remove health and safety from work. Wherever human beings are gathered, there must be health and safety. Like we say, wherever 2 or 3 are gathered, health and safety must be present.
All right, so like you have poignantly stated. Now, looking at the Nollywood industry, is the Nigerian film industry mentally, so in a healthy light, the right place to work at the moment?
I don't think so.
Why do you say so?
I don't think so because from let's current event, the expression of the bereaved, the deceased, on when he was on that boat, like some people was trying to make some other statements about, didn't show where an institution where they took safety seriously. I have been to Marina Resort in Calabar, trying to go to Creektown, and you find them very nonchalant about using the life jacket. Now, I can swim. Wow. I'm a professional swimmer.
That's
but
interesting.
I still use
life jacket.
Life jacket.
Yeah.
So we're not paying attention to ourselves. We take ourselves for granted. We take us. That's the word. If you don't love yourself, nobody will love you. If you're not providing a life jacket for me to go on a cruise or to go on water, I won't go. I will not go. Now, I am a professional swimmer, but I will not go because there's a rule. I shouldn't exert my energy where there's no need. If I must go for that, there are stipulated standards. You know, I asked somebody the other day, what is the weight if you have 5 kilograms of stone and 5 kilograms of feather? Which one is heavier? And I had a confusion everywhere. Somebody was telling me, why am I saying this? The stone obviously is heavier. The stone is heavier. But I just asked a standard question. I said, 5 kilograms of stone, 5 kilograms of feather. They are both the same weight because it's a standard. Now, what is not the standard? They see the material. The material they're looking at is feather and stone. They see stone as heavy, feather as light. But I'm not talking about material, I'm talking about standards. So what are the standards in the industry? Do we have maintenance of standards? Do you have procedures? Do you have SOPs before we shoot or before we do our function for the day? So these are the very serious questions we must ask at this time.
That's interesting, sir. You've really spoken a lot. Now, talking about the issue of standards, I was coming to that in my third question. Like you have stated, the industry has a lot of potential hazards that can come up in the course of work. So, from your perspective as a professional and as an expert, what advice or suggestions will you give to creatives, cast, production crew members on the right way to go while heeding to safety measures and health?
Okay, so number one, all, double with capital letters, all participants, all creatives, all artists involved in film production must, capital must be trained in first aid, CPR, and the use of an AED. Now, I came with an AED. This is an AED. This machine can be operated by a 5-year-old. And this is the only thing you use when somebody's heart is in defibrillation, when you have a cardiac arrest. Now, what is a risk factor to have a cardiac arrest? The number one risk factor is that you have a heart. And all the artists, they all have hearts, right? So you must learn it. First aid, what do you do? First aid is not just in cardiac arrest alone. Now you can have medical emergencies. Somebody has diabetes and goes on set, didn't have breakfast, and it collapses. Now, if you have knowledge of first aid, you go there and check. He's not breathing. You check. He could be wearing a bracelet to say diabetic, which many people in Nigeria don't like wearing. If he's not wearing, you perceive the smell coming from his nostrils. If you're trained, you will know. Is there acetone smell? Is he in cardiac? Is he in hypoglycemia? If he's in hypoglycemia, what do? You just get some sugar and he'll be up. Now, do they carry in their first aid box? You must have a first aid box. In that first aid box, what is in there? What are they if for the case that happened, they have to cross a water body too.
Water body, yeah, exactly.
So, what are the things that should be carried there? Number one, those people should have known how to swim. Now, as a celebrity, do you just spend money on houses and cars and clothes and makeup and stuff? Have you trained yourself in learning to swim yourself? Because the boat captain, they called him. The guy survived.
Yes, he did.
And he said, why? Because I could swim. So if the people who died could swim, perhaps they would have
more lives could have been saved.
Okay, so Mr. Onoja, this brings me to my next question. It's enough to talk about safety measures. it's enough to talk about it, because the last incident practically opened everybody's eyes to the fact that safety is very, very necessary. Be you whoever you are, whether you're a celebrity, you're an ordinary man on the street, it is very important. Now, it's not even enough for us to keep talking. Yes, we'll keep talking, and trust me, this issue that happened will soon fade away, and a lot of people will forget and move on with their daily lives. But now this brings me to my next question. How can the Nollywood prioritize health and safety with the recent occurrence of this boat meeting that happened?
So there must be a policy statement that must be adhered to by all and sundry, all the participants in the industry. And one of it must be that health and safety must be taken seriously. Before any production is carried out, they must ensure that everything that is needed is present. In first aid, we say number one thing a first aider will look for is what you call scene safety. We say, is the scene safe? For instance, if I'm coming out of my house and I find somebody on the ground in the pool of blood, the first thing as a first aider I'll ask is, I will check, is the scene safe? Is the scene safe? And because I have to ensure that the scene is safe before I get into the scene to be able to help. So policy statement must be put down and must be adhered to. And reports must be made on each production with health and safety measures that they took during the production. So let's not take these things for granted. Food provision. You know, we talk about food. We think sometimes these guys go into hypoglycemia during production. Some of them have medical conditions that they don't even know about. They must also make sure that they do annual body health checks to know whatever conditions you have, you're managing yourself. And the producer is also there with all the equipment needed in event of any...
So do you think that a strict measure should be put in place in every set? That is, if there's a set and there are stars in there, should there be a regulation body, or should the board in charge of the Nollywood, the guild, should they visit exactly officials that visit this set to make sure that these safety measures are being put in place for these actors and actresses?
Yes, please. And sanctions following those who
I was waiting to hear that.
Yes. With sanctions, because we say in brain science, we say wherever there's no consequence, people continue to do the same things they've done. So consequence is consequence that regulates the brain. When there's a consequence for wrongdoing, you adjust. So people in that in the management or in the film guild must ensure that these regulations are adhered to, and those who violate will be punished. In fact, you can even be taken out of production completely because you did not adhere. They adhere to makeups and to other stuff, but they forget safety of themselves. We don't like safety. There's life safety. There's fire safety.
Of course.
Are we looking at? We've not had any event where there was a fire in the house where these guys were producing, but it could happen.
It could.
Now the videos have this. They said the war that has a date cannot kill a cripple, but emergencies have no dates. So we must prepare so that once it happens, we are prepared to act. And this, what are just taking place now? If there's any celebrity who is out there who does not know how to swim, go and enroll physically in a swim academy, swim, and then go and enroll to do the first aid, CPR, and AED training, because this will save your life tomorrow. With the American Heart Association, we say one thing. We say life is why. Once one life is lost, it cannot be recovered. But we can do something. In resuscitation, we say there is a chance of rescue. And let me say this, even the captain of that boat, because he was not a trained fellow, in drowning, we say we have a 90% chance of resuscitation in drowning. You know why? Drowning, what happened there is that water took the place of air. So once you recover the victim from the water, what you need to do is to do chest compressions and give more breath, and that man will recover. But since he has no training, so even those people, the man who who is ferrying you through or who is taking you across the water, if he's not trained, you are in danger. So we say that in first aid, I'm not just the one who needs to have the knowledge. We all have to. For instance, I'm speaking here in the studio and I collapse here. If you don't have the knowledge, and she doesn't have the knowledge, I'm at risk. So we must all learn.
Okay, so quickly, Mr. Onoja, time is before we wrap up this segment. What do you think creatives can do to imbibe the culture of care? Because you made mention of it's not enough to own cars, homes, fashion, travel out, and all of that. How can artists or creatives imbibe a culture of care, providing support systems and resources to manage stress, fatigue, and any other thing they might encounter?
Now, we have a philosophy we say, fish don't talk about water. Many of the celebrities, they just enjoy the glamour, the fame that comes with it, but they don't look at themselves. Do you know many of these celebrities, they even have people they call bouncers that push people away from them? Now, there's a song somebody sang, Lonely at the Top, right? Yes. Lonely, lonely, lonely. Many of them are lonely. Why? They have pushed away people from the top. They have become so great. But let me tell you, there's a course right now I'm doing in the US, integrative nutrition. 2 kinds of food, primary and secondary food. Do you know what is primary food? Social connection. It's more important than the right food.
It's very.
So, for managing stress, you need to meet with human beings. All these virtual things people are doing and say, I have this friend on Facebook, this one on that one. Look, celebrities, the people made you who you are. Be with them, hug them, take pictures with them, eat with them. That will create longevity for you. If not, you'll be stressed. If you don't play, you drugs. If you don't play, you will be on drugs. So play hard, come on, enjoy, meet with people. Let that energy from people support you. Don't just be a celebrity and just everybody, you push everybody. The other day I saw one celebrity come and the bouncer gave that one of the very huge blow. And would that guy ever come close?
No, not at all.
Lost that man.
Sure.
But you need them. If you are not doing evil, you need people around you.
But they actually make you the celebrity that you are.
They make you, but that's it. So once
you
get up there, they leave you. Imagine people supported you up and you are now fighting them. You know what they'll do?
They will leave you.
What happens?
You go down.
So celebrities, listen to this. The people made you who you are. Love them, play with them, be with them, call them, have conversation with them. Don't be too big to stay alive.
Thank you so much, Mr. Onoja. It was a very insightful one. Thank you so much for that. So viewers, you've heard from our guests. Let's go on a quick break and then we have interesting segments for you on the Good Morning Africa show. We'll be back shortly.
this is a great initiative, and I was telling my good friend Festus, who's been the founder and steward of this initiative, that we should replicate this across the African continent, and we're happy to collaborate with the International Housing Show, and we think that it's a worthwhile initiative because it brings together all the players in the housing ecosystem, and it's a great advocacy for the sector. So we'll be looking forward to participate also in the future events of the International Housing Show, and potentially even look to see how we can scale. So great initiative, and looking forward.
Welcome back to the Breakfast Show on Housing TV Africa. It's good to know that you're still out there with us, and hope you have enjoyed today's bits so far. We'll be moving straight into the next segment of today's show. We'll be looking at the dailies, the newspapers. We'll be having the newspaper reviews on the Breakfast Show on Housing TV Africa, and we will look at those very many topical headlines and what the dailies are saying today. Well, looking at the dailies today, we will be starting off on the pages. The front page of the Daily Trust newspapers, where we have the bolder headline saying, "We are fraud in humanitarian ministry." That's according to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. And still talking about inflation, below the nameplate we have, "We're yet to see Naira gain. Food prices are still high, and Nigerians are really having to groan under the current economic situation." That's one of the areas we're going to beam the searchlight on this morning, because on the front page of The Guardian, we also have "Sticky prices, poor control, upset consumers, stronger Naira." And we have an expert in the studio with us who is going to be explaining some of these economic trends. We have Mr. Martins Onaoma. I honestly hope I got the pronunciation correct.
Right.
Good morning,
You're welcome to the program, sir.
You know, Nigerians, we have people who bear similar names.
Yes.
So I'm always careful. I prefer to give you my full names. So my name is Martins Luther Sedes Rionapo. I'm the president and founder of Quebec Food Processing Industrial Parks Limited, also the president of Quebec Agricultural and Food Cooperative. We are the
That's great. Welcome to the program. All right, we're going to be looking at the issue of the food hike, the rise in the prices of food products across Nigeria. It's quite heartwarming to know that at this point it's our local products, our local goods that are even more expensive right now when in comparison to the imported products. So let's have your opinion on the current state of the food price, and how are we getting it wrong in terms of why these the prices of goods are continuing to increase within the current economic situation.
Okay, that has been one of my moves as a person for the past 13 years, from various administrations, to see that we feed our increasing population. So we'll be narrowing our discussion to locally processed produce crops and food here. Let's put aside imported stuff. Now, you will agree with me, let's take a commodity like rice. The price of rice has been going up left, right, and center. But I can boldly say to Nigerians on air today that these are human factors. for now, cost of production for rice, even when you don't have your rice farm, you don't have your processing mill, it's not max no more than 61,000. So why will Nigerians buy rice at 75,000? So the issue here is, and my problem here is, even the rice we are buying, most of them are pre-processed rice that are not properly parboiled, they are not properly dried, and becomes a problem and all that. So the whole thing we need to do is to see how we can go back to farm, and that is why we are saying make we go farm. We have brought this initiative to see that we have about 5 zones and some few states that are free from insecurity issues. If we can go back and ensure that the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, especially the Farm Input Support Department, get what they are supposed to do, likes of Bank of Agriculture and other intervention banks like NISA Microfinance and CBN Intervention Funds and all that, we'll be able to address this issue of food price control to ensure that the middlemen are fully taken off the system. Agencies like FCCP, I've always encouraged them, I've always supported their ideas, and they were one of our guests, keynote speaker, in our concluded second edition of the Make We Go Farm workshop, which the team was combating food price hiking and food security for national development and all that. We discussed those deliberations last month, and we have one May 11, which will be addressing improving food safety and food production, increasing food production in our rural communities. The key way to go is for us to go back to farm and focus food production in our rural communities to avoid these prices we are talking about. Now, FCCP is already working so hard to see that they address the issue of price control to a certain level. Quality is another problem, and quantity. What you get, like the rice, I always throw monk to rice. What you get low quality. Some of them are very dangerous to the health, and at the same time, the quantity is not assured. The net weight is not always complete. That's the problem. Then on the issue of how do we do this to get things better, it's simple. We have 25 states who have already penciled down that we can increase food production in rural communities. That we have sent our audience to the president earlier last year when he was sworn in. We have also sent a request to the Honorable Minister for Agriculture and Food Security. So we are targeting 25 states and the FCT making it 26. We are targeting to see that 200,000 of farmland across these 26 states, as including FCC, we can go back to farm and increase food production. Don't forget, for us, we focus on food crops, fruits, vegetable, and livestock, and this is what we are dealing with on a daily basis. We should focus more on how we can feed our growing population before we talk export. Now we are having issues of US dollar increase and all that. But there are certain commodities that does not require us importing anything into the country for production.
Definitely.
So we should, first of all, we as Nigerians should tell ourselves the truth. We are the one causing most of these problems. Because I've always said it, even if you make a model of rice to be 100,000 naira, a politician who is savvy in a political appointment can afford it. Or maybe they can even get it as a kind of incentive from the government when it comes to festive period like Salah. But the ordinary Nigerian that is there, can he afford it? The problem of food price and capital control if all Nigerians get themselves involved.
So definitely a lot has been said. So Memuna, I don't know if you
Okay, yes, I love what Mr. Martins is talking about. We concentrating on our locally produced food. At the same time, if you check these foods that are being consumed, we still have, let's just say, the same average, or rather same percentage of local produced food and also foods that are being imported. And as of today, the dollar rate is 1,151 naira. And even when you still go back to the market, people will still tell you that dollar don't increase. So now so I keep asking this question. Even if the dollar comes down to 2,000 naira, these people will still tell you that the reason why the food stuff is not on a lower price is because of the dollar. So do you think that the government should roll out a body for price regulation in the market, because it's very, very important. It is worrisome, honestly, because people need to feed, people need to eat. So what do you think about that?
Do you want to hear the truth? I want to speak like a patriotic Nigerian. Whether the government likes, they set up an agency and all that. Nigerians are always Nigerians.
I like that.
You understand? Yeah. The issue is not government. The issue is the ordinary Nigerian. Now, we talk about imported. We agree. But what I just said there is that 80% of Nigerians don't deal on imported foods. We are talking about the increasing population. Is it not those who have it in essence that will go to Chinese restaurants?
Of course, I want to eat.
And you are aware that outside the price of food that are hiking, we have foods that are not safe. With a lot of people going through food poisoning and so many problems because of the, I call it in my dialect, Odomesoro. Odomesoro means I'm not the cost. Everybody wants to make money. So put dollar aside. Yeah, let them get it done. It will help. But Nigerians, I'm saying to you this morning, let's have the fear of God and also have conscience for humans. You see people tripping to hospitals today, typhoid, malaria. It's as a result of the process involved. Cutting corners because we want to make money for ourselves. And you find out that 80% of the money you are even making for yourself, you spend it at the back at the hospital and all that. Yeah. People are dying. Yeah. So for me as a person, I'm not speaking on behalf of my organization now. For me as a person, if we want the price of food to come down, a lot of people who are sincere, you know, they will say, I always say, don't sing your praises, let others sing your praises. If we have 10 of my person, 10 of my organization who are keen to see that going back to farming in our rural communities, we'll be able to control price. How do I mean by that? We have set up systems and structure. What we need is system and structure. Policy, sincerity to make it work. At that point, you don't even need the government agencies to get the job done. Because what if I happen to throw my plant, you see, food are being produced across these 25 states, and they are under control of what I do. You that wants to sell your rice for 75,000, you will not sell one bag. Because the quality I'm going to give to Nigerians, which I'm already doing, is below what you are giving, and the quantity is assured.
All right. So a lot needs to do,
and Nigerians have to come together and get this done.
All right. So away from the food hike issue, let's look at other headlines on the dailies today, and we'll be starting off on the Punch newspaper. And the bolder headline says, recapitalization race. Top banks target $3 billion fund in foreign capital markets. On the template, we have Labour asks federal government to unveil new minimum wage on May the 1st. Details of that on page 16. Still talking about the oil production at the moment. 720 billion naira lost to lower crude production in 2 months. That's according to the special report. Let freed Chibok girls reunite with families. Community tells government. Details of these can be found on the Punch newspaper. So, Memuna, looking at the recapitalization race, a lot of banks struggling against, I mean, the UBA just rolled out a framework to see if they can meet up with the benchmark that has been set by the CBN. So how many banks can make it before then?
Honestly, I don't know if these banks will be able to meet up to that. Mr. Martins, what do you have to say about
it? Well, whatever CBN is doing, I feel is for the betterment of Nigerians. Is the bank have to find a way out to see that they meet up with their regulators' demands to enable the customer to trust them more. So it's a workload for them. At least this is not the first time for recapitalization, and I believe their shareholders and board of directors know how to go about it.
Okay, so I want us to look at the Chibok girls. You know, it's an issue that has been on. 21 Chibok girls returned with 34 kids. 8 parents died of trauma. So this is the Daily Trust. For, I think since yesterday, it's been, yes, it's been on the news. It's been a trending issue concerning the remaining adopted Chibok girls are still in captivity. And a lot of these children, their parents, their guardians, you know, their family are still in pains, are still in...
over 10 years
Yes,
now.
it's been over 10 years now. So what do you think the government can do? Over the past 3 years that they have been able to release some numbers of those girls, what do you think the government can do differently?
Given a way forward.
In this light, you are taking me back. I represent a U.S. company called Accurus on security surveillance. You know, this issue of Chibok girls has really caused a lot of pains and setback in families.
Yeah.
The Nigerian armed forces, they are doing their best, even though we have new administrations now. They need to do more and see that to avoid such situations. We need to invest more in security surveillance systems. We don't need to wait for when issues comes up before we begin to implement. I was using open for the current service chiefs and all that, even the National Security Advisor. These are systems that are operating in US effectively for surveillance to avert issues. But in that it has been a target on our educational system, we need to do more to secure every school, whether a dilapidated school or building. In every community, we need to provide enough security to protect our children. Because the aftermath issue is that children in those parts of the north later wouldn't want to go to school anymore.
Definitely.
Secondly, you see, a girl child, you know, it has been a pain to see that the
Yes,
girl
girl
child
child
is being
school, yeah.
Now, can you imagine a girl child being adopted for years? I believe it was a war before the father. You should understand the
Allowed her
practice.
to even go to school
Now, do you
in
know
the first
psychological
place?
trauma now that after all yielding to advice, we sent our daughters to school.
Only for us.
The government could not protect them. They ended up becoming
Wives and mothers
to
to terrorists.
people who cannot identify with.
Yeah.
So we need to do more. Nigerian government needs to do more.
Right, a lot has been said. The Nigerian government needs to do more, even as we continue to await more details. All right, let's quickly run through the remainder of the headlines of the daily for today. On the front page of the Guardian newspapers, like stated, we have the bolder headline which says, sticky prices, poor control, upset consumers despite stronger Naira. Details of that on page 6. We also have over 17 million Nigerians are currently food insecure. I believe we've talked a lot about that. Still below the plate, APC chief decries alleged funding of party by Tinubu and other governors. Well, you can get the details of these and more on the pages of the Guardian newspapers today. And quickly over the Daily Trust. The bolder headline says we uncovered more fraud in the humanitarian ministry. That's according to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. And then on the foreign scene below the nameplate, the US, the European Union, others warn that the Iran-Israel conflict could further destabilize the Middle East. There's a lot going on in the Middle East.
A whole lot.
The reprisal attacks by Iran.
Yeah.
And all that. Okay, that's the much we take on the newspaper review for today. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin.
Joining us. It's been a privilege. All right.
I want to say Nigeria could go farm.
Definitely, we go farm. We have to go back to the farm soon. Okay, that's the much we can take on newspaper review for the breakfast show. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we will look at the remaining bits for today. Stay with us.
This is a great initiative, and I was telling my good friend Festus, who's been the founder and steward of this initiative, that we should get this across the African continent, and we're happy to collaborate with the International Housing Show, and we think that it's a worthwhile initiative because it brings together all the players in the housing ecosystem, and it's a great advocacy for the sector. So we'll be looking forward to participate also in the future events of the International Housing Show, and potentially even look to see how we can scale that up across the continent. So great initiative, forward. This is a great initiative, and I was telling my good friend Festus, who's been the founder and steward of this initiative, that we should replicate this across the African continent, and we're happy to collaborate with the International Housing Show, and we think that it's a worthwhile initiative because it brings together all the players in the housing ecosystem and the sector. So we'll be looking forward to participate also in the future events of the International Housing Show, and potentially even look to see how we can across the continent. So great initiative, and looking forward.
When the city is getting too loud, you need a home. Home is love, peace, and tranquility. Home is Housing TV Africa. Housing TV Africa, your first in housing news.
This is a great initiative, and I was telling my good friend Festus, who's founder and steward of this initiative, that we should replicate this across the African continent, and we're happy to collaborate with the International Housing Show, and we think that it's a worthwhile initiative because it brings together all the players in the housing ecosystem, and it's a great advocacy for the sector. So we'll be looking forward to participate also in the future events of the International Housing Show, and potentially even look to see how we can scale that up across the continent. So great initiative, and looking forward.
Housing TV Africa, your first in housing news. 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 Housing TV Africa, your first in housing news.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Good Morning Show right here on Housing TV Africa. On is World Art Day, yes, and we're here today to celebrate this special day. Our focus is World Art Day, intentional efforts to encourage children towards art. And I have a very pretty, smart 10-year-old with me here in the studio in person of Zina Chidebelu. Hello. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
So we're super excited to have you here today. And I can see you have a painting.
Yes.
Can you show that to the viewers? Beautiful. Okay, so now let's talk about this very beautiful art. What inspired you to come up with this beautiful painting?
We're actually doing something in class. We're supposed to draw. We're supposed to draw a trash bin. And the thing that inspired us was still life drawing.
Okay.
So still life drawing is about drawing something while you're looking at it. You're supposed to draw it like that.
Okay, so at what age did you realize that you wanted to do this? You wanted to, or paint?
When I was 6.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so how did it start off for you? Did you just pick up a pen and a paper and decided to, sketch something on it?
No, when I was 6, so we went to a park.
Okay.
Then they painted my face, so I liked it. So I decided to try it myself on paper. It wasn't that good, but it came out nice.
Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, so I also have Mr. Victor Valentine. I would not forget you. I had to, start off with Zina because she's a little lady in the studio, so we have to recognize her first. So over to you. As the world celebrates artists and their contributions to the world, art is something that gives life. Art is beautiful. Tell us, how interesting is the world of art?
Many viewers, art is a very big deal. The question you asked is how interesting is the world of art? The world of art, thank you for using the word the world of art, because art reflects on everything. Science, whatever it is, you can find art there. So art is interesting. Art is life. Art is essence. There is no aspect of life that art is not involved in. So art is interesting.
That's beautiful. This brings me to my next question. Last time I was having an argument with someone concerning drawing, and then the person said it's an inborn talent thing. You don't learn it. So I need you to just briefly clarify that.
Well, there are people that have this natural talent to draw. They just see a picture and they can replicate it without even thinking. But you cannot compare that to someone who took time to learn and develop the skill. There are a lot of people that have that talent but not developed yet. So but there are people who didn't actually have the talent but are schooled in it. They are better professionals because they know all the technicality and works around art. So it's better to even learn it than just have a skill. But it's more efficient when you have a skill or as a gift or as a talent, then you also learn it. So you can be a good artist even if you didn't have it as an inborn gift.
Okay, so let's link it. I love the way you did that explanation. So I want us to link it. What's the link between artists, their talent, and also the society?
Every artist is a role in the society. First, whatever talent or gift you have is for the society. It's to bring life, bring beauty, contribute to the world around you, to the people around you. Speak your voice or speak your opinion, add value to what's on ground. So as an artist, the connection you have to your world, to your society is very strong. In today's world, we have musicians, we have graphic designers, we have painters, we have people in different works of art. And what they do in our world today have actually made a lot of impact, even in the world of science. Yeah, so art is, I see art as a language, if you ask me, because someone defined art as being able to communicate without speaking. Yeah, so artists have brought about beautiful paintings for us. They've done amazing designs in clothing, music, even in, like I said, in the world of science. Artists have done a lot of work to make life beautiful and interesting for us. So connection between an artist, his gifts, and a society, it's so linked, it's very connected, and it's a lot of impact. So every artist should know that they play a major role in our society. They play a major role in our communities. They play a major role in our world, education, music, every industry we have. Artists have major roles in there.
So as we celebrate World Art Day today, apart from visiting galleries, watching a play or writing a story, what other way can we celebrate today?
I would say celebrate every artist in your life.
But if we don't have an artist in our life?
Celebrate artists out there. You can go on social media, make a post about an artist, or look out for artists that exist and celebrate them for their beautiful inputs in music, what they're doing, what they've done, what they have done, what they're doing, contributes in celebrating them, talking about them. Because when you say some of us don't have artists, that's not true. We have paintings at home. We have wall paintings, beautiful designs. We have a lot of things. So art is in our everyday life. So celebrate every artist, celebrate them, talk about them, make your posts, and Yeah, celebrate artists.
Now that's amazing. We're sure going to celebrate every artist in our lives, even if we don't have one. Victor just said you have paintings in your house, you have flowers, so you can actually do that. So I'm back to you, Zina. Now let's talk about your artwork now. So so okay, let's talk about your artwork. What can you tell us about your artwork?
All my artwork,
Yeah,
just this.
all your artworks that you have done.
My artworks are inspired by something.
Okay.
So whenever I draw, there has to be why I'm drawing. So because I drew this because
You having an activity in class?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't just draw. I draw because I'm actually supposed to do it. I don't draw freely. It's only once in a while I draw freely.
So why do you do that once in a while?
Because I'm busy.
Oh, nice. So you're always busy. Okay, so apart from this drawing, can you give us a total number of drawings you have done? Okay, she has to count them. Oh, there are many.
The only drawings I know I actually put my work into is one of them.
Okay.
I was in class supposed to draw an ancient Egyptian.
Okay, so how did it go?
Nice.
It took you days or hours to come up with that?
Hours.
Hours, so how many hours? Can you tell us?
One.
Just 1 hour. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so Zina, if you had a chance to be with any artist, dead or alive, who would you want to be with?
Dead or alive.
Do you have anyone in mind?
I had one, Da Vinci, but he is not alive.
Okay. Okay, all right, that's beautiful. Okay, back to you, Mr. Victor. Before now, some parents had little regard for art. You know, they're more of the sciences and other cause. So, what other ways can we celebrate? I beg your pardon. Most parents, what would you tell them concerning this? Do you think that this has changed over time, or is so on? Do parents actually support their kids who want to go into art?
Okay. Interesting question because I am in the education industry,
Okay.
so it's changing. I would say it's changing because a lot of parents are beginning to embrace different professions because before now you hear that say, oh, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be a pilot. But now parents are looking into other things that people can, the children can, give attention to, and parents now give attention to what the children are good at. They want to know that my child enjoys doing this thing. Some actually start off as, okay, let it be a hobby. It's a club. Let them participate in the club. But another beautiful thing schools are actually doing now is to take arts seriously. So there is a department for it. There's an instructor, or there are instructors for it. There's even a studio in the school where the children can go in there and do the artwork and all of that. So it's changing, and it is changing massively. I would say that. Okay, but if there is that, there are still things that um, children should not give so much attention to. This is a word of advice. Let them do it. There are several benefits. It art will even help the child do well in maths. Art will help the child do well in any other subject because it brings out the creativity in the child. So art is beautiful. Art is important, and art helps the children to do well in their studies. So give attention to it.
Okay, so time is against us, but I have just one last question. So quickly, you just need to give us an answer to that. So as a tutor and also a creativity expert, how creative can the Nigerian child be when it comes to art? We need you to speak live into them.
Nigerian child has the ability to affect the whole world. I mean, every Nigerian child, whether you are in the rural area, in the urban area, wherever you are, every Nigerian child has the ability to affect the whole world with just a piece of art. So you can be amazing. You can be great. All you need to do is give room, give attention, give space to the artists in you, and there will be no limitation. And interestingly, we have social media. You can just do something in that local village, and someone just takes a picture of it, and that's it. It goes viral. So give attention to the gifts, the talents, the artists in you, and amazing things.
Thank you so much, Victor, for that. And thank you so much, Zina. It was such an amazing time with you. And we hope you do more painting. Can't wait to receive one of your paintings as a gift. Would you send one down to me?
Yeah.
All right, then. Okay, so viewers, we're done with this segment in celebration of the World Art Day. Let's go on a quick break. We'll be back shortly.
Housing TV Africa, first in housing news. When the city is getting too loud, you need a home. Home is love, peace, and tranquility. Home is Housing TV Africa. Housing TV Africa, your first in housing news. When the city is getting too loud, you need a home. Home is love, peace, and tranquility. Home is Housing TV Africa. Housing TV Africa, first in housing news.
Okay, welcome back to the Breakfast Show on Housing TV Africa. I'm sure you've enjoyed today's bit so far. We've talked a lot from, talking about happenings in the Nollywood industry where we've been the searchlight on a lot of health and safety measures. Quite interesting. Today also happens to be the World Art Day. We also had some interactions about that. Concerning the World Art Day, it will be interesting to note that today was named the World Art Day because the famous artist Leonardo da Vinci was born on April the 15th. And so today was deemed fit for today to be celebrated every day as the World Arts Day. I've had someone who said that, Leonardo da Vinci should be the synonym for the word arts because he stands for what art represents. All right, moving to the next and final phase of today's program, we will be looking at some of the trends in the entertainment industry. A lot has happened over the past couple of weeks. I think you would agree with me on that.
Yes, a whole lot has happened, a whole lot. Starting from the Bobrisky saga.
A lot has happened. Talking about the Bobrisky issue, I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
During his charge in court, the judge asked, do I say him or her? The judge asked,
but he
said male. Okay, so does that settle the case about when?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. The reason why we're going to be using Bobrisky as a case study on today's entertainment just is because there's this trendy video online on social media that's going around. We Nigerians, we love Owambe, we love cruise, we love to party, and you don't see Nigerians spring. So that's very, very funny video. Even when I say the fear of Bobrisky is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of is the beginning of wisdom. There's this trendy video online about a wedding, a couple, the bride dancing, having fun, and all of that. And then the person's spring could not even go close to spring this morning. But, things like this are actually good.
Definitely.
When you use one person as a scapegoat, others will, fall back in line and try to do like that.
But the question now is, why did it have to be Bobrisky? I mean, before Bobrisky, British, we've had people spray. I mean, what's a Nigerian party
without
spray
money?
It became like a culture.
Yeah.
So why did it have to be? Why did it have to start with Bobrisky?
Well, I think Bobrisky has committed a lot of atrocities.
Well.
So they just had to use that. That's what Bobrisky was, too. It was too unavoidable because you had lots of money spilling everywhere. And people, it was a viral thing. And trust me, I'm not sure this administration will want anything to dabble.
Yeah. So it's been wonderful on the Breakfast Show. I'm sure you've enjoyed it as much as I did. Memuna, I'm sure you enjoyed it.
I had fun with you,
me
my
too.
co-host, and
the guests we had.
Yes.
All right, so it's on that. I want to call it wrap on today's Breakfast Show on Housing TV Africa. From myself, Ebenezer, see you next time. And Memuna.
And I am Memuna Bagudu. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you same time, same station with an exciting episode of the African Show right here on Housing TV Africa. Keep watching Housing TV Africa, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Housing TV Africa, and do follow us on all of our social media platforms. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Housing TV Africa, your first in housing news.
Landlord responsibilities. Keep the rental unit clean and in good condition. Drafting lease agreements for tenants is part of the responsibilities. Meeting the safety standards for occupants. Ensure a quiet living environment. Fulfilling responsibilities to tenants. Tenants' rights. Right to a property. Right to a well-written tenancy agreement. Right to receipt of payment.
Housing TV Africa, your first in housing news.